people you might say you know, their face or their voice or their name or their job, but in reality, you don't really know them at all. Until now. This is I Call Shotgun, where we ride around with someone you recognize from around town and talk about a little bit of everything. Hopping in the front seat with me today is Justin Spring. He won an Olympic bronze medal in 2008 and is now the national championship winning coach of the Illinois men's gymnastics team.
My first question for you, where do you keep the medal?
It's been in a few places. So my wife, I'm out of town constantly, right? A typical coach schedule everywhere. And so like 5 or 6 years ago, I get a call and I'm out of town. Where's your medal? I was like, yeah, it's downstairs in storage. You know, like it was in a bunch of old Olympic uniforms and stuff. She's like, why is it there? I'm like, I don't have an answer for that question. I don't know. That's just where it is. She's like, can you put it out? Can you keep it out? I'm like, I don't care. Just do whatever you want with it. So since then, it has just sat. It's in our living room, kind of off in a.
Have you had something really negative in life that at the time you felt was just like the worst thing in the world, that you've seen become super positive at this point? Like looking back, you go, man, that was awful at the time. But now, man, I'm so glad I went through whatever that was.
I ask myself all the time, and I like, would I have made the Olympics if I didn't have the 6 surgeries? You know, like what? Like that's a weird like.
Right.
Well, like of course you would have. Like, but I don't know. Like because I showed up to the Olympic trials after just coming back off an ACL surgery 7 months before only at Olympic trials. You know, and I had the greatest meet of my life. But I think a lot of that was because it was like this panic, almost a fight to get back, to get healthy. This is your Olympics, you've got to do this. And then, honestly, I came back so early, I was able to hurt myself again. I actually had 2 surgeries in my ankle from that injury after the Olympics. So I competed with a mangled ankle on one end, and then an ACL tear on the other. So when I showed up to trials, I hadn't done a floor routine because the ankle was a mess, and vault wasn't happening because my knee. I raised my hand at routines and was just like, whatever. Just like, whatever. Like, throw something else at me, I dare you, you know, type of mentality. But I think that's why I had the greatest meet of my life. There was so much equity and so much struggle and so much fight just to be here. It was just like, no, you can't take this from me.
Is it cool to always be the former Olympian, or do you wish that your national championship with the Illini and some other things that you're doing as a husband and father and things now took more precedence than the Olympics?
It's gone like this. You know, like I'm getting older and further away, so now I'm kind of like, yeah, I was an Olympian. You know, once an Olympian, always an Olympian. I'm an Olympian. Like, that's cool. But as I get more into my coaching career and start to really fall in love with mentorship and like developing my athletes far beyond the sport of gymnastics, I mean, as people, as young men ready to take on the world with a good head on their shoulders, with focuses and emphasis on the right things, that's literally where I get tears in my eyes most frequently, is our senior banquets, when I see a kid come in that's a mess and scatterbrained, kind of like I was, and walks out of our program as a senior, that was maybe a captain and just was an inspirational leader to his team, and I know he's gonna go. I'm almost tearing up. I'm not even talking about anyone specific, right. But it's like those are the moments that I care so passionately about now. Yeah, I care more about that than the Olympic medal thing.
If athletics and gymnastics had not been a part of your life, and they have been, I would guess, since almost you could walk.
Since I was 3, yeah.
What would you be doing? Like, if that wasn't ever a thing?
Well, I came to Illinois to do engineering. Probably something like that. I'd probably be pretty miserable, though, to be honest with you. I've always loved science and math, and but I can't imagine doing a job that just focuses more on numbers and things on a paper rather than... And there's collaborative efforts in engineering. I think that's actually a problem with engineering. You get a lot of these hyper-focused, super analytical people, and then projects are collaborative, big time, right? You know, so I don't know. Maybe I would have found a niche there, but I think I would have found my way back to developing people and coaching one way or another.
As a coach, you're obviously on the road a lot. You're recruiting, you're in the gym, you're working out, whatever. When you're not doing any of those things and you have a night at home with your wife and family, what What's that look like for you? What do you do?
So we just put an in-ground trampoline in my backyard. So our kids love that, and they love for me to double bounce them and catch them, and because no one else. I have a lot of experience on a trampoline, believe it or not. So I'm able to have a lot of fun with them there. I love doing yard work. That was my other thing. Like you wouldn't maybe see, but like leave the cell phone in the house and get out and plant a bush or like clean up the. It's kind of my brain dump exercise.
I've got a ton of leaves at my place, so if you want to.
Leaves like the least favorite. Leaves like my least favorite thing to do. I just mow them all up. But like doing big projects. Like I will invent projects to do in the yard. My wife will know when I'm stressed. She's like, don't go out and buy a tree and redo the backyard again. And I'm like, I've been thinking about it.
Right.
But it's my mental escape, you know.
Is there one defining moment of your life? Doesn't have to be professionally.
I was being young and stupid, and I was out one night and I got really hurt my freshman year. And it really, you know, I almost used this example earlier when you were talking, you know, and it almost cost me my career, you know, or could have very easily, but it didn't, right? And it was just like I almost had a second chance and it just brought into perspective how precious 4 years in college is and how fast that flies by. And I think that perspective on life is really important, right? That live in the moment, don't realize, you know, like people will fly through amazing opportunities, amazing things they do together and not even realize how amazing it was.
Justin Spring?
Yeah.
Thanks for riding.
Thanks. Yeah. Yep. See ya.